So this is new. This is different.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I know. And now I get to actually like look at your face and see you while we're having a conversation.
Yeah, because I think I'm like partially looking at my computer when we film.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just looking at myself in the reflection, and I'm like, wow,
That's valid.
look at that. Look at that podcaster right there. Very sexy.
Look at
Now I
the
can't see
star.
anything except for Brittany's face, which is perfect.
You're welcome.
It's even better than my own. So
Okay, well, that's,
you know
that's
what?
not.
I'm here to gas you up today. That's why I came to Edmonton, actually.
If you guys couldn't tell,
Yeah.
Abby's in Edmonton with me.
Mm-hmm.
We're here together.
Yeah.
We didn't get really good at editing, and this is like a green screen.
Oh my god.
We're actually together.
The day that happens, I'm not even going to tell anybody that that's what's going on. We're just going to pretend.
Really, you have to guess in
Yeah.
the comments.
Yeah. And we'll be... Yeah, we're also outside, if you didn't notice.
That's the biggest bug I've ever seen. Holy shit.
We'll have bugs crawling on us. We'll have people passing by.
And us getting very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's fine. We're just going to be looking around to see if anybody's watching. But I think it's fine. I've seen people do more embarrassing things. I don't even think this is embarrassing, to be honest.
I was trying to think of an example, but I don't think this is embarrassing.
No. There's this guy in Montreal that pole dances in a park. Like, he has, like, a pole setup that's, like, kind of like a wood stick that just, like, kind of goes out of this platform.
I kind of love that.
And he'll just be in his Speedo, like, swinging himself around on this stick. All summer long. It's very entertaining. I mean...
Does he close shop in the winter?
I would hope so, but who knows, maybe he just switches locations, although I'm sure it's, like, difficult right now with everything being closed and etc. But, yeah. So, we are pole dancing outside. That's
what this episode is. We're
Yeah.
going to learn how to pole dance.
Exactly. We have our tree behind us.
We got some sticks.
There's lots of sticks
Lots
we
of
could put in the
sticks.
ground. But yeah, this is episode 7.
Welcome.
Welcome. I think we're going to go with our topic that we discussed about
Conflict.
conflict.
We're going to
Yup.
fist fight.
Yeah. Now that
just
we're
gonna
here in
wrestle in the
person,
park.
we saved this episode for this moment. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like conflict is obviously something that everyone has to deal with. A lot of people deal with it better than others.
You know, man versus man, man versus self,
Man versus wall. I'm just thinking about all the men that punch holes in walls.
Oh. I was going off in LA. Like, I was like, is that one? I haven't been in an English class in a very long time.
Yeah, this is true.
I punched a wall once. I
Wait.
fractured my hand.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I'm
wait.
a white boy.
Yeah, you should tell this story for the pod. Like, why not?
So it was in high school. My boyfriend at the time was, well, I think we were actually broken up at the time, but he was calling me while I was at a party, and I was getting really mad.
Yeah.
I was really drunk, and I just punched my friend's wall.
Did it make you feel better?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I instantly hurt my hand and was too embarrassed to say anything, so I just went to sleep. And then the next day, my dad was having a barbecue, and I went over, and him and all of his friends just made fun of me for the entire day, and then my dad took me to the hospital after. So
Shit.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, okay, so we have now discovered that punching holes in walls, or punching walls, just I don't know if you made a hole.
No, I'm not that strong.
Maybe it would have felt better if you made a hole.
Yeah, absolutely. If I didn't fracture my hand and actually like made a hole in the wall, I think I would have felt much better, but
Yeah.
it was just kind of embarrassing.
So maybe not the greatest way to deal with conflict or
No, that's a bad way.
rage.
We
Yeah.
should make a list.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
What's a good way?
a good way. You're
Same
asking
scenario.
the wrong person.
Same scenario. What would you do?
Oh, mine is probably also not a great example, but I would probably block him and not talk to him again.
I think that's actually a great thing to do.
Is it healthy
you're-
or is it avoided? Because therapize me, please.
But I mean, okay, so if you don't like what the person is saying and you don't feel like you're in a state of mind to like handle it properly, like if you think you're just gonna get mad, like that's not gonna solve anything, so just fucking block them until you're ready to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. Don't block forever and ghost.
Yeah. I don't think it's avoidant if you're just like, I'm pissed off right now and I'm going to say something mean, so...
Yeah. I've recently learned of these terms, internal processors and external processors when it comes to conflict. So an internal processor is typically someone when they're experiencing, like, conflict or, like, a stressful situation will need to take time alone and quietly by themselves to think through everything that's going on, to just kind of, like, process the conflict. And they'll often, like, seem as if they're shutting down in the middle of an argument or something like that. An external processor is someone who needs to, like, verbally process things. So they're the ones that often will, like, yell and just, like, start, like, going on rants and, like, spiraling and stuff to other people or to the person that they're in conflict with, because it's going to help them process what's going on. I think that could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's
sounds legit.
Yeah. I'm an internal processor.
I think I am no, I definitely am. Well, it depends on the situation. I feel like I handle conflict differently with people that I care about and, like, people that I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Like, if it's someone I care about, I will just go mute and get so upset. I'm like, I don't want anyone to be mad at me. If it's just some, like, piece of shit at the bar, they're in trouble.
Fair enough.
It's not their lucky day.
Yeah, I'm really good, I think, with, like, people I don't care about. I'm good at, like, talking things down. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, I typically don't instigate. I probably come off as an aggro person, but I'm really good at talking things down because I don't want things to ruin my night.
Yeah.
So I'll, like, often, if someone is like, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, where was I?
Show an example.
If someone is, like, getting aggressive with the person that I'm with at the bar or something, I'm easily just able to kind of, like, butt in and be like, yo, like, hey, so sorry about that, man, like, didn't mean it, like,
let me buy you a drink.
Yeah, no, well, typically not. They usually end up buying me a drink.
Abby's never paid for a drink in her life.
That's a lie. Yeah, talking things down, I think, with people I don't care about. When I do get into arguments, because I think the only people that can really get under my skin in a very deeply personal way that's not anything to do with social issues I care about, I will just go MIA for a bit. I think in my last relationship, the only fight that we ever, like, got in was over Smash. Because he kept beating me at Smash using these very specific moves. And I decided, I was like, dude, like, this isn't even fun anymore. I was like, you're not even letting me, like, get any hits in, like, and I'm not asking you to let me win, but it just, like, kept building and building, and I got so mad, I, like, slammed down my N64 controller, and I stormed to my room and slammed the door, and I stayed in there for half an hour, and I think that they probably thought it was the end of the relationship because I was so upset over this.
Yeah.
But no, I just needed time to cool down on my own because I can get, like, pretty angry. Like, my anger comes really quickly, but it also goes really quickly, and then, like, it's as if it never happened. But I often, like, even when friends will approach me with, like, big problems or, like, send me long texts, will say, hey, thanks for sending this to me, but I need time to think about this, and, like, I'll get back to you when I am able. So that's how I internally process things, because, like I said, my reactions are so, like, quick, like, my emotional reactions, that I just have to remove myself from a situation, or else it could turn ugly very quickly.
I think that's healthy, though, because if you're just really angry or really upset about something in the moment and you know that it's going to pass, it's best to just leave it until those feelings pass. And it's not that they're not valid, it's just, like, you don't want to make things worse.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny you say that, though, because the worst fight that Mal and I got into, which I couldn't just remove myself, which is why it got so bad.
Yeah.
It was because we were at his brother's place.
Yeah.
And it was a board game night, and we had a disagreement about the rules. I'm not even going to get into it, because I'll literally get mad talking about it. I still disagree. I'll tell you after, but holy shit. Okay. Anyways, so I had to kind of internalize, like, his family could tell that I was getting pissed off at him. But he knows.
People on Lime scooters.
I want all the scooters thrown into a river.
Yeah, I really don't know if people are going to actually be able to hear what's going on in the background, but it's very
Probably not.
entertaining and distracting.
It's very annoying for us.
Yes.
I saw a post the other day that was like, Edmonton's gonna crack down on scooters this weekend. I was like, how?
Why?
Anyways, my boyfriend's very into board games, like we both are, but he'll read the entire rule book, like front, back, every detail. So like he usually is right, like he usually knows, but I just did not agree with this rule, and also we looked it up and it was like other people didn't agree with this rule.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those, but couldn't really react because we were at his family's, and then a long car ride home. So I just like
No.
we were in like the A&W drive-thru. I was crying because I was so angry, and I was like, oh man. Like as soon as we got in and ate, I was fine, but I was just like when I can't just like walk into another room or just go somewhere else, like I'm like.
The car rides are the worst.
Yeah, because you're just silently like staring out the window.
Getting into an argument before you get to a place, and then like just being in a bad mood in front of whoever's family for the entire time that you're there. It's so uncomfortable for every party involved. But it's necessary, you know. It's healthy.
Yeah.
Conflict is healthy
to an extent.
Yes. I don't know. I've never been in a relationship where there was a lot of screaming or fighting. From what I think like I'm a pretty like non-conflict oriented person, and I know how to handle it well. Like things just don't bother me that much. I'm just a chill girlfriend. I'm just a chill, cool girlfriend.
By the way, it is okay to not be the chill girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you can still be the cool, chill girlfriend and set boundaries
100%.
and get upset about things.
Yeah. Smash Bros is very serious.
Very valid.
So are board
I agree.
games.
I'm on your
100%.
side. There's an ant in my keyboard. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. A good example, though, is of me being good at handling conflict with people I don't give a shit about is that when my current boyfriend gets upset or angry at me, which is very rare, and it's very, like, he'll just get frustrated and then immediately apologize.
Yeah.
I won't talk for an hour. I will start crying. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But one of my, like, two of my ex-boyfriends, they would scream in my face, and I'd scream right back because I didn't want to be dating them.
Yeah.
I didn't like them at all.
Finding out.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I think they knew. But
Fair
I
enough.
just, like, I would yell back, and I had no problem doing it because I was, like, wanted to end the relationship anyways.
Yeah.
But, I find that I'm very confrontational with gross men at the bar. Not to me, like if they're being gross to my friend, I'll get in there.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of nervous about doing it because I had a friend from high school that apparently got kicked down a flight of stairs for like swatting some guy's hand away at like Beercade.
Gross.
So, now I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
am I going to get beat up?
Yeah, well, I do that too for my friends often, is I'll cut in and be like, yo, like, she's just not interested, man. Like, keep moving. Keep it moving. Especially if they're really grimy and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just, not worth it. And then I do actually have a story about a time where I had to deal with a grimy dude, but inside my own apartment. Yeah, so in my first apartment, I lived with this roommate who was a few years older than me, and her sister was my age. Let it be known that my roommate was a complete and total dumbass. However, this is to say that this situation was not her fault, nor was it her sister's. So the two of them went out to the bar one night and decided that they were going to walk home, but this guy was like, oh, like, I'll walk you guys home, like, blah, blah, blah. Which I would be like, no, thank you, bye, and leave. So he, like, walked them home, and then he was like, oh, I'm gonna call, like, a taxi, like, can I just wait in your lobby? And they were like, okay, sure. And then he was like, oh, like, can I just, like, come up to the apartment, like, wait in there for my taxi, blah, blah, blah. And they said, sure. I don't know. Once again, not their fault. But they let him into the apartment, and I was there sleeping because I had work the next morning, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I like woke up to this guy in my apartment like trying to coerce her and her sister to have sex with him, into a threesome. So, I had, like, really short, like, pixie cut hair. Like, I was going through an identity crisis. I was about 50 pounds heavier. I was, like, really just, like, really going through a big moment in my life. So I could look very scary if I put in enough effort. And I woke up, I put on, like, my bright pink fuzzy bathrobe. I, like, stuck my hair up. I, like, came out of my room, like, what are you doing in my apartment? I confronted him, and he was like, yo, like, who are you? Like, chill. Like, who are you? Like, what are you doing here?
Oh,
I was like,
I would immediately get so mad, because it's like, I pay rent.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said to him. I was like, I live here. I pay rent. I was like, what are you doing here? Like, clearly they don't want you here. I need you to leave now. And he was like, no, we're just having a good time, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, after a while of me standing there arguing with him for him to get out of my apartment, I hate men. He finally, like, I went to the front door and I held it open for him. I was like, you need to fucking leave, like, right now, or else I'm gonna call the cops, which I wouldn't have, but I was just being a bitch. And, he was like, oh, like, okay, whatever, like, blah, you're such a bitch, blah, blah, like, swearing at me, like, all the way out. And, I think, like, as he was leaving, he said something like, have a nice fucking evening, or something like that. And he, like, grabbed my head. So, like, there's, like, this wall in behind our door. He grabbed my head and he pushed my head, like, back into the wall. Fully just assaulted me as he was walking out the door. And so I took my apartment door and I slammed it on his ankle and then shoved him out the door and locked the door. And we never heard from him again. Thank God. And my roommate and her sister were very thankful. They were like, wow, she's like an angel. And I'm like, okay, good night. I'm going to bed. That was very jarring.
What a sack of shit.
Yeah.
I would have grabbed, like, a kitchen knife, and I would have been like...
Like, gone full crazy.
Yeah, I would have just, like, pretended that I'm unhinged.
Yeah.
Which, like, I am, but I wouldn't stab anyone, but he doesn't know that. So
Yeah.
I would have been like, as soon as he touches me, I would have grabbed that knife and
Yeah.
just made him shit his pants.
Yeah. I can be scary and I can be very assertive and aggro, but it, like... it comes out very rarely, I think, and just in those dire moments where I'm like, I need to boss the fuck up and get this man out of my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fun. Also, my strategy. Sorry. I'm like just prattling on, but prattling? What?
What does that
How
mean?
old am I? I don't know. My strategy for first dates as well, so that men don't fuck with me, is I let them know that I have, in fact, studied martial arts for several years of my life and could beat the shit out of them if given the opportunity.
Yeah, if you're on a first date, tell a story about you doing something really unhinged.
100%, yeah.
Set the tone.
Exactly.
Not too unhinged that there won't be a second date, but unhinged enough that he knows.
Yeah.
Don't try anything.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's, like, a good strategy. Strategy.
I thankfully haven't been in that position because I don't like inviting anyone into my space at all.
Yeah.
The fuck just ran across my laptop? That was not human. Well, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Just a tiny baby running across Brittany's laptop.
It was an alien.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. It's the only thing.
Extraterrestrial.
Well, I mean, I started dating my boyfriend as soon as shortly after I moved out for the first time, so, didn't really have to deal with people I did have one, I don't know if I can tell this story, because I'm pretty sure he listens to the podcast.
Hey.
No shade.
Wait, is he, what? Okay, never mind.
We'll discuss it after, and then we can decide if we should keep it in.
Okay.
I'll just tell you the full story, and then you can tell me if I'm safe to leave this in.
Okay.
There's just this guy, no shade, all love. We just had this back and forth of just we were really good friends, and then he wanted more, I didn't want more, and we were like trying to figure out a way to be friends. It didn't work. Blah blah. So we got to a point where we were like pals, and it was like shortly after I moved out, and I was texting him and I mentioned that I had like a doctor's appointment, and I asked, or he like offered to drive me after work, and I said, oh yeah, like I'd appreciate that, but also I have plans, so I like just know that we can't hang out after. Like, this is literally just you driving me to the doctor. Is that cool? And he was like, yeah. Drives me to the doctor, drives me to my apartment, and then, like, kind of seems, like, sad in his car. So I was like, oh, I kind of feel like a dick because you live really far and you drove over here to, like, take me to the doctor. So I was like, do you want to come, like, see the apartment? I was like, quickly, though, because I had to, like, get ready to leave. And he's like, yeah. And then he came in and he, like, stood in the doorway after I gave him, like, a little tour, and was just like, are we friends? Like, and I was like, immediately, like, I don't think he meant any harm, but I watch a lot of true crime.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm like, I look at the kitchen, I'm like, what, can I use those as a weapon? Am I gonna have to fight my way out of here?
Like, literally.
Yeah, he was talking to me, I was like, not listening to anything he was saying, I was just like, what's my escape route?
Yeah.
Because I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna get murdered in my apartment, and I've only lived here for a week. How much would that suck? Anyways, nothing happened though, but I never know how I'm gonna react in a situation, because it just, like, honestly depends on my mood and who the person is.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I would have just been like, get the fuck out, but I was like, oh, hey, okay, I really need to go.
Exactly.
But there's other situations where I just, like, go off. So it really depends on who it is and how I'm feeling that day.
That's fair enough. That's a little spooky.
I've had, like, there's certain guys that have been creepy at the bar that I ignore because I know that I could take them in hand-to-hand combat. Oh, I thought someone was behind us. I got really spooked. Hey.
Oh, they're just being little mountain bikers.
Cute.
I love outdoor activities.
I've had it happen a couple times where guys will pay for me and my friends' tabs and then expect us to go home with them after.
That's the biggest fucking joke.
Oh, absolutely. One time I was with my friend Alyssa at karaoke. These two guys asked to come and sit with us. We said sure. And then I think it was last call, so they're handing out, like, bills. They're like, it's on the house tonight.
Yeah.
But the guy, like, grabbed it. He's like, oh, I've got it, ladies, don't worry. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks. I'm going to spend the money that I was going to spend here on McDonald's.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice to meet you. While he was paying, his other friend went out and was cleaning out, like, the back seat of their car, like, expecting us to go with them. And we walked out, and the one guy comes behind us and runs across the street and is helping his friend clear everything out. And me and my friend look at each other, and we just walk the opposite way.
Yeah.
We're like, what the fuck?
No.
And then it happened, like, last year. Me and my friend Elena and I were at some bar. I forget. Actually, I remember, but I'm kind of embarrassed that I was even there.
Wait,
so I'm
which
not.
bar? Oh, you talked about that bar before.
Oh, yeah. I was at Greta.
Yeah.
There's just, like, a slimy group that goes there. Anyways.
100%. It's me, and it's the one where I beat all of my Tinder dates at every single game that we play, and then they're emasculated, and I love it. Absolutely.
Oh, I can't wait to go to, like, an arcade again.
Yeah.
Anyways, my friend Elaine and I were, first of all, this was, like, when things reopened and the numbers were, like, pretty low, so my friend and I were okay going out, and these two guys, first of all, asked to sit with us, and then we were like, it's pandemic, but I'm like, it was a big booth, if you guys sit on that end,
yeah.
sit on this end, cool. They were, like, really friendly, so we're like, yeah, whatever. We'd have been drinking for hours beforehand, so we both went to the bathroom to throw up, puke and rally.
Hell yeah.
And we came out, and they had already turned the lights on, like, last call.
Yeah.
I'm always at the bar till last call. I'm a fiend. I can't say that. Anyways, we went to the waitress to ask for our bill, and she was like, oh, it's already been paid by these guys. And we said, cool, that's nice. Anyways, and so we go outside, and they start, like, following behind us, and then they cross the street and are just walking alongside us, and I, like, went super, like, the opposite way of my apartment to walk her home, because I was like, I don't want you to get knifed.
Yeah.
But just, she, like, I was on the phone with Malachi at the time, and I was just so hammered. I was like, oh yeah, these guys are following us. And he's like freaking out. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye. And he's like, what?
Oh no.
But, like, fucking ants. Situations like that, I'm like, I don't mind telling you to fuck off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're not, I'm not a prostitute.
No, exactly.
Like, you didn't just buy my drinks and now I'm going to go home and sleep with you.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
It would cost more than a couple whiskey gingers.
Amen to that.
You know.
100%.
But, I don't know. Those are, like, men at the bar, typically, I have no problem telling to eat shit.
Yeah, they're animals.
They're animals.
Yeah, and that's not to say that they shouldn't be held to a higher standard, but I just don't trust any of them to hold themselves to a higher standard.
No, not at all.
So.
I, like, only drink at the bar that my dad works at.
Yeah.
That's the only place I'll get, like, really, really drunk, and it's because I know everyone that works there, and I know that if I get too drunk or get roofied, which I've had friends be roofied, I know that I'm safe there.
Yeah. I've never been roofied. I don't think. I've had friends who have.
I don't know if I did or not, because there's times where I'll have, like, 2 drinks and I just feel, like, so disgustingly drunk. But it could also be that I, like, have not slept at all and didn't eat for the last 2 days.
This reminds me of a Tinder date that I went on.
Whoa.
Back summer 2018. I had just gotten my IUD in, literally that day.
Nice.
And so I took a bunch of pain medication because obviously I was hurting a little bit.
It sucks.
Yeah. So I was, popping some Tylenols and decided to go on this date to the next act. And it was this dude from Montreal who I'm still friends with. I, like, wish him a happy Capricorn season every single year because he's a Capricorn and he's very hot. And I'm a fiend for Capricorns. But we, like, met up and we had a really great time. I had 2 beers, okay? 2 beers. And for some reason, I just got absolutely loaded. Like, so loaded. I started to get a little bit anxious because I was like, why am I so drunk right now? I've only had 2 beers.
Yeah.
Like, and this was summer 2018, so I was drinking, like, a fair amount. Like, my tolerance was not, like, super low or anything like that. So I, like, got a little nervous, and I, like, confronted him when we were walking around outside because he asked me, he's like, oh, do you want to come back to the place that I'm staying at, blah, blah, blah. And at first I was like, sure. And then as we were walking around and I felt that drunk, I was like, something's wrong.
Did you?
So we were, like, looking over the river valley and, like, making out, and I, like, pulled away. I was like, did you roofie me? And he looked so hurt and so offended. He was like, why would I do that? You were next to me the entire time. I was like, I went to the bathroom a couple of times. You could have. I wouldn't know the difference, and I'm really fucked up right now. And he's like,
I just love the tone that you're telling this in, because it's like, I'm not mad, I just want to know.
Yeah. And he was like, why I don't do that kind of shit. Like, I'm really actually upset that you would think that I did that. And I was like, no. I was like, I just need you to tell me if you did or not. That went on for a little bit. And he was like, okay, I think that you should probably just go home. I can walk you home if you need it. And I was like, no, I'm smarter than that. And I walked home alone.
Was there a second date, Abigail?
There was. He was a fun person, and he had told me on our first date, he was like, yeah, if you know of any shows, like, just invite me. So, like, we had our second date, like, a month after our first, and it was just because I had an extra ticket to a show that my friends were putting on, and so I was like...
Did you, like, explain what happened, or you weren't sure what
Yeah,
happened?
no, I did. I was like, oh, yeah, like, that time that I thought you roofied me, I just was really high on Tylenol, probably, and also drunk, so that was great.
That's so funny.
Second date was fun, though, too. We, like, got really drunk and biked through River Valley, got lost for 2 hours, finally made it to the show, and then had a really great time at the show. He, like, was, like, wacky. He was, like, dancing a bunch, and so I also had a really great time and just danced, because I like people like that are just, don't give a shit. We made out a bunch. Everyone kept mistaking him for the person that I was also seeing at the time, because I was being very affectionate with him. And they were like, oh, is this so-and-so? And I was like, no, this is another guy. 2018 Abby was chaotic. Oh, and then we biked home and almost got killed by a guy in a Porsche. Because apparently Jared... sorry. I don't think he watches the podcast. Nobody knows who he is. Apparently, he had hit his Porsche as we were biking away from the event somehow. And so this guy literally chased us down in his Porsche and, like, pulled, like, he drifted around in front of us to, like, stop and, like, got out. Him and his daughter, like, got out of the Porsche and they were screaming at Jared. And so this was me, conflict management. I got in and I was like, hey, like, I'm really sorry. I don't think it was Jared. Like, I saw a guy on a scooter, like, go by really quickly and he, like, sped off and I, like, saw the whole thing happen and, like, it wasn't Jared and you're totally mistaken and we're really sorry and I hope you have a good night. So eventually, like, I talked them down and they, like, drove away. But we almost got fucking killed. Like, he was, like, shaken up. And this guy that I was with, like, was losing it. He was like, what the fuck? I didn't do that. He was, like, freaking out. I was like, you need to shut the... Like, I turned to him. I was like, you need to shut the fuck up. You're making this worse.
Yeah.
And it was fun. That was 2 dates. I have really good, like, 2-date stories with people. And a lot of them involve just, like, me doing really impulsive, weird shit.
Love that.
Yeah. So, that was fun. It was good. It was a good time.
I was just thinking about the time that Mal... It was, like, I think the first time Mal and I, like, went to the bar to get drunk together.
Yeah.
Like... Aside from Grindstone, because we go there often, I think we went to the Pint, we went dancing with my friends, and it was like 3 a.m, and we went to 7-Eleven to get some snacks, and Mal was on the phone with his brother, and I was just, like, walking up and down the aisles, like, you know, picking what I want. There's these 2 assholes in Oilers jerseys. They look like, I mean, you can probably spot 100 people in Edmonton that look the exact same as them, 100%. So I'm not even going to bother describing them, but I hope they have a really shitty week and a shitty year.
Fuck you guys in the Oilers jerseys.
But I was waiting for Mal. He was, like, on the phone, like, describing stuff, and there was a homeless woman getting hot water, and these guys were, it was, like, middle of winter, and these guys were recording her and, like, laughing. So my ass, from across the 7-Eleven, goes, wow, you guys seem like you're having a lot of fun. That seems fun. And the guy was like, and, like, put his phone down. I was like, yeah, that's pretty embarrassing, hey? I'd be embarrassed. And Mal's, like, on the phone. He's like, what's going on? He, like, just paid, and he's like, what's happening? And he's, like, literally, like, trying to pull me out of the 7-Eleven.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, yeah, you fucking assholes. And I'm just, like, going off. But, like, seriously, I'm like, you guys are just proving that you couldn't get any pussy at the bar.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, this is what you're doing on your Saturday evening? Go fuck yourself. I hope,
Burn.
Ugh.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Hate that shit.
No, mean people, rude people that have nothing better to do.
Oh, yeah. If you're being mean to someone, if you're being racist or homophobic, I'll go in. Yeah. There's a girl I went to high school with that I kind of became a bully. Well, I knew her since, like, junior high. So we had issues with her because she had a crush on this guy my friend was dating and she was dating him for, like, a good while. Yeah. Like, it wasn't just, like, some fling. Like, they had been together for, like, a really long time. Yeah. And every time this girl would see him at a party, she would, like, try to sleep with him.
Ew.
Which is, like, just
not
if you're single and someone else is single and it's consensual, go off, sis.
True.
I don't care. But, like, you know, and you've been, like, told, like, hey, don't do that, and you still try to do it.
Very much against the bro code.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it started off as just, like, I don't really like her that much. Yeah. And then she made, like, a really racist comment on one of her photos because my friend was part Native. So on my hit list, like, I hate 3 people in the world. She's one of them. Jesus. And I'll try to get over it. Everyone talks about her like she's so nice, but I was like, I'm just, just fills me with rage. And so, like, at school, like, loudly make comments about her. I was kind of a bitch. But she would be, like, sitting at the table next to us, and I would just, like, I would say something, my friends would be like, oh my god, don't say anything. And I was like, why? I don't care. She clearly doesn't care. She doesn't have any shame. Like,
oh my god.
Oh, oof.
Wait, I love that. Bully racist.
Yeah.
100%
absolutely.
bullying works.
Bullying is okay if the person is a piece of shit.
100%.
I think you need to. Someone needs to bully them.
Yeah, they need to be taken down a couple pegs. And I think that's really the goal. You know, we don't want anything drastic to happen, but we do need people to just, you know, humble themselves a little bit, reevaluate.
Well, I mean, I feel like once, like, she was just awful. Yeah. And I feel like once you're at that point, someone just being like, hey, girly, I don't think you should be saying that, is not going to do anything. Like, you got to get on their level.
Yeah.
Just get as mean.
My new...
conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution. Hey, girl boss, just wanted to let you know that that wasn't very girl boss of you. And to be honest, I just don't really think that you can call yourself a girl boss anymore. So we're going to have to exile you from the girl boss. Girl boss.
She's like,
gang.
Wait,
no! My multi-level marketing scheme.
This is all I have going for me.
Yeah, exactly. Girl bosses are kind and not racist.
No, ma'am.
We do gatekeep and gaslight, though.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. It's a form of bullying. We support. No, that's a
I don't
joke.
think in our friendship we've been single at the same time, but I think that if we were, it would be damaging for everyone around us.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So, I get a little weird.
I get a little weird. Us going to the bar together for the primary reason of, like, tearing people down. But just gross people, the ones that deserve it.
Yeah.
We're like some weird Justice League.
I just want people to be nicer to other people.
Yeah.
And for men to not be... And, you know, girls can be creepy, too.
Yeah.
So I don't want... Like, anyone can be creepy, and I just want people to stop being creepy.
That's true. That's true.
And I will do that in any way I need to, which, if I have to bully them...
It works. Bullying works.
It works.
That's...
She didn't say a fucking word to anyone else. Like, any of my friends.
Okay.
Once I started talking shit back.
Mm-hmm.
And the day she did...
Yeah.
I don't think she came to school the next day.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Woo!
I don't want to, like... I feel like people will figure out who she is if I say anything else. So I'm not going to do that to her.
Fair
even
enough.
though she's a piece of shit.
Alright, we're back.
I think we should try to take this less about us getting angry and more about how you can handle conflict in a healthy way. I want to share a piece of
Advice?
advice. I forgot it.
Oh shit.
Fuck. Oh no, I didn't. It's apologize for your reaction. No. It's like, don't apologize for your feelings. Apologize for, like, the way you handled them or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's worded better on the internet, but that's something I have to remind myself to do. It's like, don't say, sorry I got upset, or sorry I got mad. Be like, sorry that I raised my voice at you, or sorry that I did that way. Because your feelings are valid, and you're probably mad or upset for a reason. Mm-hmm. So don't invalidate that.
Yeah. That's very good advice.
Thank you. I read it somewhere.
Yeah, no, there's been many a time where I definitely have been upset at myself for the way that I have acted out of, like, how I was feeling in the moment, and, like, the things that I said to the people that caused me to feel that way. Or, yeah, I don't know how to word that without, like, trying to blame everyone for how I feel, but I don't know, like, there's definitely something where, like, I feel like I black out sometimes when I get very angry, and I'll say things and do things, and I'll read back on it, and I'm like, that was majorly embarrassing.
Yeah.
But it really does help when you can admit that, and if you're able to, apologize to the person for that, and you don't have to forgive them for what they did to you at all, but like, you know, just taking responsibility for your part in things, I think is always super important. Obviously not with the guys at the bar, but
no, not at all.
In your personal relationships that you want to maintain, I think that like a certain amount of conflict is healthy.
Conflict is healthy, though. What's not healthy is like not being comfortable with like expressing how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the environment that I grew up in and some of the relationships that I've had, I try to avoid conflict in relationships or with family as much as I can. And, like, to the point where sometimes I'll apologize when I'm, like, not in the wrong at all, because I just want it to be over.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, I'm trying not to do that, and realizing that just because I'm getting upset doesn't mean that these people are going to, like, leave me or, like, be really, really angry. Like, if you care about them and they care about you, then you'll be able to, like, talk about it and sort it out. But just try not to, what's the word? Words, English, letters.
I know what you're trying to say,
You know?
but I also am having issues with words for some reason. It's a really good thing we didn't smoke a joint before recording this.
I know. We'll smoke after.
Okay.
Well, Abigail knows what I mean, so you guys just kind of have to figure it out at home.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's definitely true. And I feel like my best relationships and friendships with people have come from people who are willing to, first of all, they are not afraid of conflict. Because I've had friends in the past who will just run at any sight of something going wrong, or will not speak their mind and then have it like blow up like several months down the road, and like they all have all these reasons why they're ending a friendship, and then like, but it's all just stuff that they never talked to you about in the past. I think that's like probably one of the worst for me, just because I'm not someone who, first of all, notices those kinds of things easily. I'm really bad with social cues and social situations, and so people will think, oh, like this was not cool or this feels off, and if they don't say it to me directly, like if they feel like I'm being passive aggressive or something, I'll be like, everything's fine, because that's just how I operate for some reason. And I'm working on it. Like, I've got to get better at doing that, because it's important to notice those things and, like, how you make people feel. But I really need friends who will come to me and speak to me about issues that I have, and I'll do the same, because it also makes your friend, it makes you feel capable of being able to bring issues to them. Like, if you have that open level of communication, things can fly so smoothly, and like it might not be great all the time, but like it's so easy to just like have those conversations and to work things out. And if like the other person is willing to listen to you and like do better, that's like the best feeling. I have like a few friendships like that now. Like I think all of my friendships, because I don't have that many, but they're all like willing to have those conversations with me when the time comes, like if something bothers me or something bothers them, and it's beautiful.
Well, the thing is that it's like, just because you're having a disagreement or like you're feeling upset about something, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a fight. And I know that's hard for some people to grasp. It was hard for me to grasp, but you can, if this person's meant to be in your life, they're going to work with you and figure out what they can do better and what you can do better, and friends and family should help you grow. I don't know.
100%. I agree.
I used to be bad for just like dipping.
Yeah.
I was like,
People would send me like those paragraphs of texts or something, and I would just like not respond for days.
Guess I'm not hanging out with them ever again.
Yeah. I was like, well, this is a little embarrassing. I'm just gonna back out of this one here now.
I hated that. I'm so glad that, I feel like it was more of a high school thing for me, but just getting like really long paragraphs.
Yeah,
I hate that shit. I'm like, don't do that. I'm like, if you have a problem, call me. Or, like, let's meet up. I'm like, don't send me a long paragraph because I will... Tone is very important.
Yeah.
And if I feel like you're being disrespectful, I'm just not going to respond.
Well, if you're, like, spectacular at conveying through, like, messages, because I know that for me, like, I don't send people long text messages. If I do, it's usually an accident. Because I'll, like, write out long text messages to people and then, like, not send them. But sometimes I accidentally hit send and I'm like, shit. Now I have to actually engage in this conflict. But I process things really well written down. Like, I find that I often, when I get anxious and I'm in a conflict, like, my brain sometimes just shuts down and I just feel like crying. I can't actually make a sentence because I just feel so scared that the person is going to get mad at me or, like, leave. So me writing things down is good. But yeah, no, I think sometimes, like, if someone is just going off on you, like, for pages, it's like one of those texts that you have to, like, click to open.
If you send me one of those, I'm not even going to read it. Like,
no.
Oh.
I'll skim.
I'll skim. I'll get the general idea, but I'm not reading all that, so you just wasted your time.
Yeah, exactly.
The other day, it's might have been a couple weeks ago, I don't know, I have no concept of time anymore. In our group chat, someone said something that someone didn't like. They said, hey, I didn't like how you said that. And he said, oh, sorry, my apologies. I will leave the group chat for now, give you some space. She said, no, it's fine. Thank you for apologizing. And we moved on. But I was like, this seems healthy. This is weird.
Yeah.
Because in past friendship groups, if someone said something that someone didn't like, they would start a different group chat excluding that person or just personally text one of you.
Yeah.
And it was just such a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But they were just like, hey, I didn't like that. And he was like, oh, sorry. And I was like, wow.
Right?
It's that easy.
I love that for you that ended after high school. Because I was just really trapped in my early 20s.
Well, I cut people off like it's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm better at that now. Actually, that's a lie. People cut me off. I get cut off.
Every day, someone I've been friends with for like 6 years will like unfollow me on everything, and I'm like, dope.
Okay, what happens, please? Like, I want to know, but also like, please don't be mean to
I'm
me.
not gonna reach out, but also, I'm a little curious.
Have you ever confronted someone who is like visibly? Well, yes, visibly, because you can see it with your eyes. Subtweeting about you?
Yes.
Oh God.
In like high school though.
I had to do this last year. What the hell? You got out so easy.
My thing is, though, I've not been diagnosed, but I'm pretty positive I have ADHD. If I don't hear from someone for a while, don't see them online, forget they exist. I have friends that I've been friends with for years, and then they'll post an Instagram pic, and I'm like, wow, I haven't thought of this person in like 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't care about them. It's just my brain is like, whatever's in front of me is real life.
Yeah. Yeah, that is honestly fair.
So, like, cutting people off or being cut off is kind of very easy for me.
Yeah. It depends on the person for me, for sure.
There's some people that I've, like, it's usually, like, a drifting apart thing, though. Because if someone's just to cut me off, I'm like, you're kind of a piece of shit. Because I did something wrong, let me know. If you just don't really feel like we're vibing anymore, let me know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's kind of shitty of you to just leave me in the dark. Because then I'm going to spend a week being really anxious about it, and then, I mean, I'm not going to do anything about it, but it's going to bother me for a week.
Exactly. You're taking a toll on my mental health. I don't know how to process these things yet. Yeah. I don't know. I think that usually after people end up cutting me off, they always end up coming back, too. Which, like, once again, I'm just here doing my thing. You're going, like, whenever someone does that to me, I feel like you have your own narrative going on in your brain. Yeah. Not saying that what happened isn't valid or, like, didn't happen, but, like, people often deal with that, like, at their own pace. And so, like, if you made the decision to cut me out of your life and then you're also making the decision to come back into my life, I'm like, I'll just vibe. I don't really care. Unless what they did to me was really heinous, I'm like, eh.
Have you ever
Welcome
gotten... One time I got this text that was, like, really long, and it was like, I'm really sorry I've been distant, like, this is what's going on, blah, blah. I'm like, I didn't even fucking notice. I did not notice. I was like, like this long paragraph, like apologizing and just being like, it's not you, it's me. I'm just like, we didn't talk for 3 weeks. That's nothing.
Yeah.
I don't talk to people for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I keep using 6 months as like an example of time, but
I mean,
sometimes it's like 2 years. And
yeah.
I'm just like, if we can not talk for years and you text me and be like, hey, let's go do this. I'm like, cool, down.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're a piece of shit.
That's true. What is that?
It's a drone.
There's a drone. So we're being spied on, clearly.
Bastards.
Which one of you? Yeah, I don't know. I find that kind of stuff very weird. And it's mainly really just doing so well today. It's mostly with, like, men that I've gone on, like, a couple of dates with.
Yeah.
Where they're like, hey, like, I feel like you, like, kind of want, like, more than I do, blah, 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 like, you know, like, I really think you're a cool gal, I just, like, you know, don't really see us going anywhere, and I'm so sorry that this is gonna be...
These ants are going fucking crazy. They're just, like, every ant I see has, like, the biggest fucking, like, chunk of wood or something carrying over their head, and it's just crazy. Ants are crazy. Anyways, continue, sorry.
That's true. No, well, I mean, that kind of stuff, like, with, like, men that I've went on a couple dates with, and when I, like, date people, hey, people I maybe have dated, I usually have, like, a, like, rotation at least of 3. Not so much now because of COVID, because I just, like, that's not really safe, but...
If I'm casually dating, it's, like...
I'm...
It's usually, if I go on a date that's so good, I'll kind of, like, take a break from seeing other people.
Yeah.
But to kind of, like, feel it out and see if it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
But if I'm just casually dating, you're my Wednesday night date.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have your number saved in my phone.
Yep.
And I will not probably until I've known you for at least 3 months. That should be its whole own episode. I know we've already done a dating episode, but, like, I feel like I have very weird rules, and
I want to do one on, like, casual dating and, like, hookups and stuff, because I feel like we kind of went into relationships, but I have some fucking funny stories.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, episode planning. That's always exciting, but I don't know.
Bro, we're filming.
What's happening? Oh. I was like, who are you talking to? Where are they?
I'm just gonna start talking to a ghost.
Yeah. I'm so paranoid, dude. Like,
I'm like, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. What do you think? It's the tree.
I speak for the trees.
It's
a little Lorax reference.
Yeah, he's a little shy right now. But yeah, no, I've been very anxious about being back in Edmonton. I think I kind of mentioned this already, but
I live here, and I for some reason moved to just a hot spot for running into people. And
White's the worst.
Edmonton.
Yag. Okay.
I don't run into him, like, I think just because everything's closed right now. I'll definitely start running into more people. But I live where everyone hangs out, like, really close.
Yeah.
It kind of stresses me out, because it's like I can't go to the grocery store looking bummy because I might run into 5 people I know.
Yeah, that's valid.
But, I mean, as of lately, the only person I really run into is my tattoo artist, because he lives, like, up the street from me.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
We always see each other when we're, like, getting weed. Or getting weed. So, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Yeah. I've been here for less than 24 hours, and I already saw one of my Tinder matches. So, I'm really buckling in for this next week, preparing myself.
She rented a bunker as an Airbnb.
Yeah.
We gotta go bring her back.
Yeah.
So
my keepers are waiting for me. I'm in Edmonton on top secret business. But anyways, I feel like we should wrap this up here.
Yeah, because I feel like we're gonna have 6 more issues with our recording setup.
Yeah.
I post it when we post this episode on our Instagram, because I already posted it on our story, but Abby made a tripod out of sticks.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
100%. I'm very excited about it. It's working well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did we learn?
What did we learn?
We learned that being aggressive and mean is okay.
Bullying works.
Sometimes.
Internal, external processing,
yes.
those are things.
It's okay to feel feelings and to set boundaries, and conflict is normal.
And board games and video games are the number one worst way to get into fights with people in relationships.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, I think...
This was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to episode 7. Yeah. If you would like to follow us, join our community, we have all of our links down below or in our bio or in the description of the episode, wherever. We also have a Discord that you can join. And
that I haven't really done anything with.
Yes.
But if you come in and say hello, just get the chat started.
Yeah, exactly. And shout out to Doug Hoyer for our intro, outro music, and also to Mal, Brittany's boyfriend, for doing our graphics for our intro.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
And see you next time.
See ya.
Bye. Mm-hmm.